What's going on, everybody? It's Jack, and we're here with our first episode of Outside the Box. On this channel, we do our best to build effective but low-cost equipment for your adaptive PE settings. Today, we're building a target. It's going to be used for kicking or throwing, but we're going to set ourselves at a $20 budget. So in this video, we're going to be going to stores to buy cheap equipment, putting it together, and you're going to see some clips of it in use. And then we're going to circle back at the end and kind of talk about what worked, what didn't work, and what y'all can consider moving forward if you want to do something like this in your own settings.
But before that, let's lay down some ideas on what equipment we need, as well as some goals we have surrounding this target. As you can see from the graphic here, I had the idea to make a hanging target setup with a PVC pipe frame. We'll be buying 4 PVC, 2 to 3 feet long each, as well as 6 total connecting pieces and 4 caps. A stack of construction paper or anything else colorful you'd want to hang from the target could work too. We also have additional items like zip ties and glue to make your target more stable, but these don't count towards our budget, just to be clear. Now with our main goal moving forward, I believe the biggest goal for this target is to give the students a piece of equipment they genuinely enjoy interacting with. We'll do this by making it not only visually engaging, but making the target swing back and forth when they hit it, giving students immediate feedback. I hope this immediate feedback motivates students towards more participation, but I guess we'll kind of see if that works moving forward later in the video. All right, no more talking. Let's go shopping.
How you doing? Good. We're off to Home Depot. PVC pipe is bought. And we're back in the lab. We're going to start building our target here, but not until we see everything we got. At Home Depot, the PVC pipe ran us about $15, and the construction paper at Target was $3. So we stayed under our goal of $20 today. Now all we have to do is actually build the target. Okay, so during this time lapse, we're going to talk a little bit about the big why for this channel and why I think adaptive equipment is so important for physical educators in the first place. When many people think about adaptive physical education equipment, they often think about making activities easier, but in reality, adaptive equipment is about making activities more meaningful, engaging, and accessible for every student. For students with increased sensory needs, traditional equipment doesn't always provide the level of feedback they need to stay engaged or understand what they're being asked to do. Adaptive equipment can also bridge the gap by providing additional visual, auditory, or tactile input that captures attention and supports learning. In this case, the visual aspect would be the multicolored targets, the auditory aspect would be the noise it makes when the student hits the target, and the tactile input part would be more of the satisfaction they feel when the target waves around and stuff like that after hitting it. Ultimately, the sensory supports create clearer connections between an action and its outcome. For many students, sensory-friendly adaptations can also reduce frustration and anxiety. Activities become more predictable, expectations become clearer, and students are able to direct more of their energy towards movement, skill development, and having fun. Remember, it's not about lowering expectations, but removing barriers to effectively access curriculum. So now you see the target in its completion, and we're going to look at some clips of this target in use. All right, we're back. The target's been used. We're gonna go over some critiques and things I'd change now. I thought it was a great success, but obviously there's always room for improvement. So we're gonna talk about some of those things now. We're gonna talk about the shopping experience, the building experience, and what I would change about it being used in the field. First thing we're gonna look at is the shopping experience. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but PVC pipe is sold with a plethora of different measurements, from a 1/2 inch all the way up to like 5 inches. So when you're building your target, just know that, and just know what kind of measurements you want to have, because if you're buying corner pieces and the longer PVC pieces, you want them to mix and match evenly. You don't want to have to go back and buy new corner pieces because they don't fit on your PVC pipe. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about the building process. As you saw in the video, I used zip ties, which weren't included in the material list. I also used PVC primer and cement. They sell that in a dual package at Home Depot, so I just got one that day. Admittedly, I did not include it in my $20 budget, but I plan to use that in the future, so I don't think it counts technically. We also used zip ties for actually hanging the targets from the frame. I didn't have string at the time, so I thought zip ties would work fine, and they actually worked better than string would have, in my opinion. Hanging the zip ties, they hang in a way where the bottom one will always face the same direction, and the targets aren't going to flail in a circle or spin as they would if a string was tied onto the top. Keeping the targets facing the same way is helpful because you can flip the whole target around, frame and all, to use the other colors on the other side, just creating a different environment for that student. The last part of the critiques we'll talk about is the piece of equipment in action at school. Now, obviously this is one target built for one student, so it's pretty individualized. If you want to make this a more of a large class activity, either I could recommend building more targets, so the same thing just multiple times, or I had the idea to take a longer piece of PVC pipe on the top so you can hang multiple targets along one big row. Multiple students can throw at the same time, and you can go from there wherever you want to go in your lesson. An additional critique I will add is that I would fully recommend laminating your papers. There were a lot of times where the papers would simply fly off the zip ties and I would have to re-duct tape them on. I think there's a few clips in this video actually of the duct tape at the top of the target to keep it on the zip tie. The lamination will keep it on, and maybe some hot glue or something like that to actually keep the zip tie and the paper molded together. But I do think the most important part about this video is that the students liked the target and they enjoyed using it pretty much in every class that I had that day. Now, I wouldn't hesitate to use this target in the future, and now that I know what I know, I feel like I can build an even more effective target next time I want to do so. So with that being said, that was our low-cost DIY target for adaptive physical education. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for our next episode where we'll go on to make an exercise dice.